Good morning, everyone. My name is Cedric Jermin I. De La Cruz, and I am here to present my audio and visual recording. Our topic for today is about HIV. It stands for Human Immunodeficiency Virus. Chapter 1 of our topic today is the basics of HIV. Before we talk about the type of HIV, let's go quickly over what HIV actually is. HIV stands for Human Immunodeficiency Virus. It weakens the immune system by attacking the CD4 cells. Here it is. It weakens that cells like the docking fusion or CD4 receptor and co-receptor and double-stranded DNA and other stuff, etc. It weakens the immune system by attacking CD4 cells, which are important for fighting infectious diseases. Over time, if untreated, this can lead to AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. A stage the immune system is so weak that the body struggles to fight off even a minor infections. HIV is a retrovirus, which means it doesn't just infect cells, it changes their genetic material so that it can reproduce and spread. Because of it's very difficult to eliminate completely. Now let's go to our chapter 2. The two main type of HIV is HIV-1. It's the most common type. This is the HIV-1. And it is the most common type found worldwide. It spread easily, progress quickly, and is responsible for most HIV infections in the whole world. So be careful to not get this type of viruses. Practice safe sexual intercourses with your partners. Practice everything that is taught to you about your teachers and other professional peoples. HIV-2 is much less common and mostly found in West Africa. Here is the visual of it. It spreads more slowly and takes longer to progress than to AIDS. Both type both types of this HIV attack the immune system in similar ways, but HIV-2 tends to be less severe and less infectious than HIV-1. However, both require serious medical treatment. Why do we need this medical treatment? Because if we don't take this medical treatment, this could worsen by a lot and lead to our lead to our death in the future. So be careful. HIV-1 is further divided into four groups: the M, the N, and O, and P. But the most important one is Group M because it's responsible for global HIV pandemic. Within Group M, there are different type of subtypes. Think of them as different versions of viruses. Some of the most common ones are subtype A, found in the Eastern Europe and Africa. Subtype B, the most common in North America, Europe, and parts of Asia. Subtype C, the most widespread, especially in Africa and in India. Subtype D, F, G, H, and J, and K, less common but found in different regions. Each subtype has slight genetic differences which can affect how the viruses responds to medication. But the good news is modern HIV treatments work against all of them. Why does HIV mutate? One of the biggest challenges with HIV that it's constantly changing every time the virus replicates. It mutates slightly over time. These changes can affect how viruses react to the treatment, vaccines. This is why I scientists all are always working to update medications and people living with HIV need regular checkups to ensure their treatment is still effective. If a strain of HIV is resi- did develop resistance to a certain drug, doctors may need to adjust the treatment plan for their patients. You might be wondering, why does all this information matter? Well, understanding the different types and subtypes of HIV helps researchers develop better treatments and vaccines. For example, some subtypes are naturally more resistant to certain drugs. If doctors know which type of patient has them, they can choose the best medication for them. Also, knowing the different types of HIV helps in prevention efforts. Some subtypes spread more easily than others, which means public health strategies can be adjusted to better control the virus. So, if you ever feel the need, or if you ever feel that there's something different in you, please go check up. It might be some it might it might be an HIV if you did an untreated or unhygienic sexual intercourses. HIV is a complex virus, but now the more we understand it, the better we can fight it. Whether it's through treatment prevention or education, we all have the role to play in reducing the spread of HIV. If you found this video helpful, consider sharing it with others. Knowledge is power, and more people understand HIV, the closer we get to ending this epidemic. So now that I have explained to you on what is HIV is, now let's talk about what is to prevent it from happening and why HIV prevention matters. HIV is a virus that has affected millions of people worldwide. But did you know that it's entirely preventable? With the right knowledge and actions, we can significantly reduce the risk of transmission and protect ourselves in and our communities. In this video, we will explore the best ways to prevent HIV and the do's and don'ts, and what science says about stopping the virus from spreading. Whether you're looking to protect yourself or help educate others, this information is essential. So let's dive in. Chapter 1: How HIV is transmitted. Before we talk about prevention, we need to understand how HIV spreads. HIV is transmitted through direct contact with certain body fluids from a person who has the virus. These fluids include number 1, blood. Number 2, semen and pre-seminal fluids. And number 3 is vaginal fluids. And number 4 is rectal fluids. And number 5 is breast milk. HIV is not spread through casual contact like hugging, shaking, sharing food, or mosquito bite. It requires direct transmission, usually through one of the following ways: unprotected sexual contact, vaginal, anal, or oral sex; sharing needles or syringes; from mother to child during pregnancy, childbirth, or breastfeeding. Blood transfusions, truth rare today due to strict testing. Now that we know how HIV spreads, let's talk about how to prevent it. Chapter 2. Safe sexual practices. Sexual transmission is the most common way HIV spreads, so practicing safe sex is one of the best ways to prevent it. Here's what you can do. Always use protection. Use condom every time you have sex. Both male and female condoms are effective. Choose water-based or silicone-based lubricants to prevent condom breakage. Avoid using oil-based lubricants as they can weaken latex condom. Number 2. Get tested regularly. Both you and your partner should get tested before engaging into sexual intercourse or sexual activities. Knowing your HIV status and that of your partner helps in making informed decisions and better sex quality in life. Number 3. Limit multiple partners. The fewer partners you have, the lower your risk of exposure. If you have multiple partners, regular testing and random use are crucial. Number 4. Consider pre-exposure prophylaxis or PrEP. PrEP is daily pill that reduces the risk of contracting HIV by over 99% when taken consistently. It is recommended for people at high risk such as those with HIV positive partners or those who have multiple sexual partners. Using this precaution makes a huge difference in preventing HIV transmission. Chapter 3. Avoiding needle sharing. HIV can also spread through contact, especially among people who inject drugs. Here's how to stay safe. Never share needles, syringes, or other injections equipment. Use sterile needles every time. If you need a medical procedure, ensure that equipment is properly sterilized. If you inject drugs into your system, consider harm reduction programs that provide clean needles and medical support. Needle sharing is a high-risk behavior, and avoiding it can greatly reduce the spread of HIV and reducing your life's risk. Chapter 4. 4. Preventing mother-to-child transmission. For pregnant women living with HIV, modern medicine has made it possible to prevent transmission to their baby. Here's how. Number 1. Early testing and treatment. If a woman is a HIV positive, taking an antiretroviral therapy or ART during pregnancy greatly reduces the risk of passing HIV to the baby. Cesarean delivery if necessary. In some cases, doctors may recommend you to do a C-section to reduce the baby's exposure to the virus. However, it is only necessary if the mother agrees to it. Avoiding breastfeeding. In some situations, formula feeding is recommended to prevent HIV transmission. Toothpaste milk. Thanks to the medical advancement, the risk of mother-to-child transmission can be as low as 1% if proper steps are taken very seriously. Chapter 5. Post-exposure prevention. What if you've already been exposed to HIV? There's still a way to prevent infection for it. Post-exposure prophylaxis or PEP prophylaxis is a treatment you take after possible HIV exposure. It must be started within 72 hours, the sooner or the better. The treatment lasts 28 days and is highly effective when taken correctly. Just to be sure guys, take it every day, not every every twice a day. PEP is for emergency situations like accidental exposure or after unprotected sex with someone who might have HIV. However, it is not a replacement for regular prevention methods. Chapter 6: The Do's and Don'ts of HIV Preventions. Let's go first with the do's. Number 1 is use condom correctly and consistently. Number 2, get tested regularly for HIV and other STIs and other STIs, sexually transmitted intercourses virus. Consider PrEP if you are high at risk. Use only sterile needles. Encourage open conversations about sexual health. Seek medical help immediately if you think you've been exposed. PEP. And finally, the don'ts. Number 1 is don't have unprotected sex without knowing your partner's status. Number 2, don't share needles or syringes. Number 3, don't assume someone looks HIV negative, gets tested to be sure. Number 5, don't ignore symptoms. Other infections can increase high-risk exposure. Number 6, don't rely on myths or misinformation. Stick to scientific facts only. Ending HIV Truth Awareness in Action. Preventing HIV is possible, but it requires awareness, responsibility, and action. By taking these steps, we can protect ourselves and others and move closer to a world without HIV. If you found this video helpful, please share it. The more people know about the prevention, the fewer the infections there will be. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it very much. Bye bye.